Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories, shall we? The first story is called Don't Listen to Me. I'm a software engineer. I used to work for a pretty company that specialized in developing software solutions for their client. I was sent on-site to the client, which was a big Malaysian bank, to play the role of front-end developer, basically make the internet banking website. They already had backend services set up for a mobile application, which we were also to use for the website. There was only one problem. You could only install the app on one phone and log into your account. This meant that if the customer logged into their app, they wouldn't be able to log in through the website. As anyone can determine, this is a big problem. I went to the back architect and tried to tell him, as well as the project manager, of this problem. They told me I don't know what I'm talking about and stop disturbing them and just do my job and nothing else. I later found out that they hated the previous front-end manager and would never listen to the front team. So I sent a mail detailing the whole problem to both of them and their bosses as well. As expected, nothing happened, but I was covered. Fast forward 2 months, the client reviews the architecture for the website and finds that no changes have been made to the backend to accommodate the different behavior of the website. They call a meeting and blast the two above guys and their boss. They claim they are backend people and don't know the difference in behavior in a website, and it was my job to let them know. So they bring me in to question me why I didn't let them know, and because of me the project has been delayed 2 months and the company has incurred losses. I calmly tell them of my meeting with the two idiots and show them the mail, which they ignored. Then it was a glorious explosion. Basically, the architect was called incompetent and his 20 years of experience was called into question, and the project manager blamed everything on the architect. After that, they always consider my suggestions. After 2 months, the architect was transferred to another project and replaced, and the project manager quit IT. Last I heard, he is trying to set up an organic farming business. The next story is called We Don't Have Cocktails. Some years ago, hubby and I moved to another country where culturally service is not a priority, very different from where I come from. We had barely arrived and decided to celebrate by going out for a nice meal at a restaurant recommended by a friend. We had been forewarned that the service standard was bad in general, so we came with a low bar. The meal was nice, the service okay, low expectations prevent disappointment, and the conversation really good. We were excited about our new adventure and happy to finally be there, so we decided to follow the meal up with a cocktail since the restaurant had a fully stocked bar and full view. We called the server over to order and the conversation went something like this. "Hi, we'd like to order some drinks please." "Okay, sure, what would you like?" "For me, a glass of red wine please." "Okay, and for you miss?" "I'd like a gin and tonic please." "No, we don't have cocktails." "What do you mean? You have a fully stocked bar." Seriously, this was a big, very complete bar. "We don't have cocktails." I was flabbergasted. But you have everything you need to make them, right?" "I wouldn't know, we don't have cocktails." At this point, I sit back in my chair while my brain tries to process the situation. Then promptly sit back up, a malicious compliance light bulb going on in my brain. "Okay, do you have gin?" "Yes." "Do you have tonic water?" "Yes." "Perfect, then please bring me a glass of straight gin, a glass filled with ice and a can of tonic water." "Okay." I seriously don't know what I expected to happen, but they bring everything over and then I proceed to mix my own drink at the table while making eye contact with a big grin on my face. And since the glasses were highballs, I actually got a double. It was hilarious to see the server huffing away. The last story is called Why You Should Be Nice on the Phone. I used to work at a call center for a large Canadian telecommunications company. They are a service provider for TV, internet, home phones and cell phones. I was a customer care agent and at the time I was working at the end of promotions department. I'd be the person you speak with when your 1 or 2 year discount was set to expire. I had been through many different departments before I was moved to the end of promotion team. I had access to multiple discounts a regular care agent wouldn't have access to because they never changed my authorization when I was moved to the new department. This allowed me to bend the rules quite a bit when it came to renewing promotions for some customers. Now, most care agents have limited discounts they can give. Typically, the system would generate a discount for a customer's account based on their tenure and services with us. That's what the company claimed, which I find to be a lie, as I have seen accounts that were created back in 1999 that would be tagged for only $10 off or even less. This is where my access level came in handy. If I spoke with a customer who was super polite and gave me no trouble or stress, I would apply a better discount than what was originally tagged, especially if I see they've been with us for years and even sometimes decades. Now, the company always claimed they keep track if we apply discounts that a customer wouldn't be eligible for. But I think that was also untrue, because I did this to many accounts and it never came up during meetings with my manager. So one day I get a call, a customer that's been with the company for a year or two. Let's call him Mark. So Mark's promotion is coming to an end pretty soon and he's looking to get a new one and at the same time upgrade his services. He was on a mid-tier TV package and a mid-tier internet package. If I recall, he was probably paying around $140 per month. He wanted to move up to our highest TV package and our gigabit internet plan, which is the highest you can get for both TV and internet with this company. And this company is not a budget service provider, so typically that combination of products would cost around $180 before taxes. And the price just climbs up depending on how many boxes you have for the TV, if you have a home phone and if you have any extra TV add-ons. So I tell him I will gladly look into it and place him on hold. Since he was very polite and I was in a good mood, I was happy to bend the rules for him, especially after seeing he was only tagged for a $15 discount. He had a $25 discount before, so he would have been paying $10 more if he wanted to keep his services the same, and definitely a whole lot more if he upgraded to the highest packages. So eventually I come back to him with a $50 discount for 1 year. He will still be paying more for making that change, but it's a whole lot better than the $15 off that he was supposed to get initially. Now all of a sudden his attitude and tone do a complete 180. He starts getting angry and starts getting rude. He was talking as if he thought I was joking when I said $50 is the most we could give him. He went on a rant about how he has been with us for so many years and how he deserves to pay less than what he was paying before, and on top of that get upgraded services. I explained that unfortunately, because he is upgrading to our highest packages, the increase in price is inevitable. I informed him that if he wanted to, the same discount could be applied to his current services and he'd be saving $25 more than what he's been paying. Then he pulls the same card I hear so often. Well, my friend has that package and is only paying $80. Or, I see newer customers getting it for so much less. This, in most cases, sure can happen, but with the combination of products he has, I know 100% he was just pulling these prices out of his butt. He got angrier and was demanding that he gets a better discount. And on top of that, he wanted the Crave Movies HBO add-on for free for a year on top of that for wasting his time. I started to get frustrated and explained once again that it's not something we can do and the $50 is the best we can offer. He asked to speak to retention, which at the time was the end of promotion department, and I explained that he is already speaking with them. He starts to lose it and says he wants to speak to our manager because he wants to pay what he feels like he should pay based on his tenure. Which again was only 2 years, which may seem like a long time, but in this kind of industry it doesn't mean much. We do have a dedicated team of managers that take calls when a customer is going crazy. Their primary goal is just to defuse the situation, but they are not there to give better discounts if we already went through the best options, and they always made that very clear. I explained that a manager cannot provide a better discount, but I can still transfer him to one, as it is company policy to get them to a manager if they request one, no matter what. So I place him on hold. What we do is speak to the manager on the line first to explain the situation and the options we as an agent went through before escalating, and then they take the call from there. Usually you are supposed to disconnect from the call once you patch the customer through. But sometimes I like to stick around and mute myself just to listen to the manager tell the customer the exact same thing I already told them. Their reactions are usually priceless. So I explained to the manager, we'll call him Fred, that I had already offered the customer a way better discount than what he had before. I was worried they would question why or how I gave them more than what they were tagged for, but this manager didn't seem to care. I explained how now he wanted to pay less than what he used to pay while upgrading to our highest package, and now on top of that have a $20 add-on given to him for free for a year. Fred scoffs because they understood how ridiculous that was and told me to patch him through. I add Mark to the call, introduced him to Fred and explained they will take the call from there. Now all of a sudden he's acting very polite again and says, "Oh, thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care." He continues this act while he talks to the manager, as if he wasn't just screaming at the top of his lungs at me moments ago. I stick around to hear the conversation play out. Fred does a quick rundown of what Mark was asking us to do just to make sure nothing was missed, and Mark says yep, that all sounds right to me. Then Fred pretty much tells him what he is asking for cannot be done, and that I had already offered the best discount we can provide, and explained that most customers pay way more for what he is being upgraded to. He starts getting angry again and starts yelling that he is being mistreated as a long-term customer and is threatening to cancel all of his services with us and move to a competitor. Fred says he is sorry he feels that way and that if he would like, they can start the cancellation procedure for him. Mark had enough and hung up right after. I got a kick from hearing that and went on with my day. A month goes by, I'm taking calls and having a good day. It's slow, not a lot of callers, but the ones I do get have been very nice, and suddenly a call comes in. The account pops up. I do a quick look over the account summary and see the customer's name. It looks familiar. I check the account's previous interactions and see mine and Fred's from a month ago. A big smile goes across my face as I'm speaking to none other than Mark, calling us back again. Now, this kind of thing is very rare. With a company this big, we typically have a lot of callers and a lot of employees. So it's extremely uncommon that I speak to the same person more than once. I'm thinking, because it was a slow day, they had given early leave to the agents who wanted it, so there must not have been a lot of agents online taking calls, thus having this call routed to me since I was available. I do the standard greeting, "Thank you for calling, how can I help?" But on the inside I've got a grin on my face. I know he is most likely calling us back because his discount had expired and his price has gone up. He is either calling to cancel or try and get a discount again. I was right on the nose with that one. He calls, saying that his discount has expired and he is looking to get a new one. Now Mark didn't seem to recognize that he was talking to me again. He thought I was just a different agent because he mentioned he was given an offer from someone about a month ago that he was looking to accept. And here's where the malicious compliance comes in. As per our last call, you said you wanted a discount based on your tenure? Sure thing. As a matter of fact, the system has already generated a whopping $15 off based on that. I explained that unfortunately, because he is calling after his discount has ended, the original discount we had offered is now expired, and now we only have a $15 discount available. He starts to lose it again. Now, in some cases this actually does happen, where if a discount isn't accepted before the other one expires, the new offer also expires and cannot be added. I can agree it's bad that this company does this so they get more money. In this case, because the original $50 discount was never supposed to be given in the first place, I was able to say this and only offer what he was really tagged for. Once again, he begins to lose it. It plays out the same as it did last time. I explained that this is the best we can offer. He throws a fit, wants to speak to our manager. Again, managers are not there to apply better discounts. Sometimes we do have something called a documented promise, where if in the notes someone was offered something, say $50 off, and it didn't go through, we can still apply it. He could have lied and said he accepted it and it never went through, and the documented promise policy would have made it so we had to give him that discount. In this case, because Fred and I both wrote in the notes that he declined that offer, it was gone for good. I once again transfer him to a manager and stick around to hear the fallout. The manager did not budge, told him the same thing, that $15 off was the only option, and once again it ends with him hanging up. I unfortunately never figured out what happened with Mark's account, but here's what could have happened. He is still paying the in-market prices for his services, which is a lot more than what he was paying before. He accepted the $15 off and is still paying more than before. Or he cancelled with us and moved to a competitor, one less problematic, rude and entitled customer. The moral of the story, be nice to the other person on the phone. If you are nice, an agent will most likely be more willing to go above and beyond for you. If you are a jerk, in my case at least, I'm doing the bare minimum for you and definitely will not bend the rules for you. Again, most agents can't do that anyway, and in this case I had access to these discounts most likely by mistake. But you should still be nice to the person on the other end of the phone regardless. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps in the algorithm. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.